Every animal on this planet is running the same program. The moment a human gets close, it calculates distance, speed, eye contact. And the answer is almost always the same: run. Not because it learned to, because it was born knowing to. Scientists have tested this in species that have never encountered a human before. The response is already there, encoded before birth, inherited from ancestors who survived by treating us as a threat. The fear of humans isn't learned, it's installed. So here is the question nobody can fully answer yet. When a human shows up not to hunt an animal, but to save it, does the animal know the difference? The research says something stranger than yes or no. Start with what being trapped actually does to a body. The moment a wild animal loses the ability to move, its biology enters a state with no real human equivalent. Cortisol floods the bloodstream. Adrenaline climbs to levels that would be lethal if sustained for more than a few minutes. Heart rate doubles, then doubles again. A study in the European Journal of Wildlife Research measured cortisol levels in animals caught in wire fencing. The concentrations were higher than animals struck by vehicles, higher than animals injured by gunshot. Being trapped is more physiologically violent than being shot. From the outside, the state has a specific look. Pupils fully dilated, muscles not tense, locked, the mouth slightly open, breathing shallow and very fast. Wildlife rehabilitators describe it as the animal going somewhere else, still in the body, but no longer attending to anything except the threat directly in front of it. So when a human walks toward a trapped animal, it doesn't read rescuer. It reads apex predator, arriving at the worst possible moment. This is why the animal fights harder the closer you get. Its threat system reads your proximity as the final phase of a hunt. It burns its last energy on the only response its entire evolutionary history has ever given it. And then, sometimes, something shifts. In December 2005, a crab fisherman found a female humpback whale tangled in rope lines 18 miles off the coast of San Francisco. The ropes were wrapped around her mouth, her pectoral fins, her tail. 12 crab traps, 90 pounds each, hung off her body and pulled her downward. She was fighting constantly just to keep her blowhole above the surface. A rescue team arrived within hours. 4 divers entered the water carrying curved knives. Each one knew that a single reflexive movement from her tail could kill them. She stopped moving the moment they entered the water. For over an hour, she held position at the surface while strangers worked across her body. At several points, she repositioned herself, rotating, extending a fin, adjusting her angle in ways that gave the divers better access to the lines they were cutting. A 50-foot, 50-ton animal, holding still, while humans with knives worked around her. The explanation researchers favor isn't emotional, it's mechanical. A predator closing in to kill moves fast. Direct line, no hesitation. That specific pattern is what a trapped animal's alarm system has been calibrated across millions of years of evolution to detect. A human trying to help moves differently, slowly, no sudden gestures, touching the rope, not the animal, producing no sounds that match anything in the threat catalog. The brain searches its entire library of threat signatures. Nothing matches. With no recognized pattern to lock onto, the crisis response stalls. The animal doesn't relax. It just has nothing to respond to. It waits. In Yellowstone, a research team found a wolf in a leg hold trap. The wolf lunged at every approach, exactly what the biology predicts. One researcher stopped moving entirely and held eye contact with the animal without looking away. Eye contact carries specific weight in mammal communication. A predator closing in to kill does not hold steady eye contact. It watches the prey's movement, tracks the body, calculates escape routes. Sustained direct eye contact without aggression or movement sits outside the standard threat template entirely. Some researchers believe it reads as social engagement rather than a hunt posture. After several minutes, the wolf stopped lunging. It sat down. It held the eye contact back. When the team began working on the trap, the wolf watched their hands. When the trap released, it stood still for a moment, looked directly at the researcher, then walked into the tree line. Field researchers describe this as suspension of threat response. Not trust, not understanding. The alarm system loses its anchor point. The expected sequence of predator behavior never arrives, and the crisis response has nothing to lock onto. The animal goes still because it runs out of threat patterns to match, not because it knows you mean well. Or at least, that is the most conservative reading of the data. Here is where it gets harder to explain cleanly. Science keeps asking, the animals simply live the answer.